Well, that wasn't beautiful, but you know what? At least it's a win, and we're not like Washington, already in the hole, by the way, losing to an FCS Division II kind of a team. Tulane, pretty good D1 program from the American. But Sooners have just enough to hold them off. 40-35. Tell you how it happened next. Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away. My name's Harry James. Well, you could say it. I finally got to go on another road trip to New Orleans. Or to the Tulane Stadium, that is. Well, not really, because as we already talked about, Oklahoma Tulane was moved from Tulane to the game in Norman, but Tulane was still the home team. The Mean Green Wave was there at the 25-yard lines. Pretty cool gesture by the OU athletic department. And, by the way, prayers and concerns go to all the people out there in Louisiana that have lost power or more tragically have lost family members. With that being said, and that out of the way, let's get to the good part. The football. That you can put behind, so that you can put some of this behind you for the next couple of hours. And we'll start on the road team with Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler, 304 yards in the air to go with a touchdown. Spence did have two costly, and yes, I mean costly interceptions. The longest completion that he had, though, 50 yards. Home team Tulane, they have their own number 7, Michael Pratt, who passed for 296 yards. 3 touches in this one for him. His longest completion, 43 yards. So from the passing game to the running game, you got to have a run to set up a pass. And Oklahoma had number 26, Kennedy Brooks. 14 rushes, 94 yards and a touchdown. His longest run was from 32 yards out. The Tennessee transfer Eric Gray also had a pretty good night for Oklahoma. 9 carries, 28 yards, 0 touchdowns. His longest run was 11 yards. For the Tulane Green Wave, their leading rushers, number 7, Michael Pratt, and number 20, Cameron Carroll. We'll start with Pratt, 15 attempts, 62 yards on the ground. His longest run, 17 yards. Cameron Carroll, 10 rushes, 39 yards. 10 yards was his longest rush. For that, we'll go next to Oklahoma, where receiving Marvin Mims and Jayden Hazelwood. 17, Marvin Mims will start there. 5 catches, 117 yards, 0 touchdowns. Did have that 50-yard bomb catch from Spencer Rattler by Mims. Would have been called back if it would have worked either way, but there wasn't offsides. Well, that's why it really worked. Jayden Hazelwood, 4 catches, 47 yards, 0 touchdowns for him. His longest one, 25 yards. Leading receivers for the Mean Green Wave. We'll start with 80, James Trick, and 10, Shaw White, also played well. James Terry Reek, 6 catches, 93 yards in the air. Didn't have a touchdown. His longest completion, or catch that is, longest catch that he had, 43 yards. Shaw Wyatt, to match it, 5 catches, 58 yards, 0 touchdowns for him also, but his longest reception, was 17 yards. So, that's all through the offense. Let's talk about some defense, guys. Defensively, DTY for the Sooners. That's Delarian Turner-Yell. He wears number 32 for Oklahoma. Also, Sooner Legacy, number 9, DJ Graham played well tonight also. We'll start with trouble. DTY, 8 total tackles yesterday, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks. Also, number 9, DJ Graham, 8 total tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks for DJ. Now we go to Tulane for their defense. Numero uno, number 1, Nick Anderson led them in tackles. 8 tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks. Also with 8 was Dorian Williams. He earned his number 2 for the Tulane Green Wave. 8 total tackles for him also. 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks for him. So, that is the offense and defense. Now all we need to do is special teams. And now, why were those 2 picks so costly? Well, Oklahoma didn't have to punt yesterday. That's why they were so costly. So, punting for Oklahoma, NA, now inadequate. Punting for Tulane, number 97, Ryan Wright. 3 punts, averaging 49.7 in average. His longest punt, 53 yards. Kicking, as we talked about, didn't have to punt. And the picks were costly because Oklahoma scored on every other possession. That does include going 4 for 5 for 80% for Gabe Burkick. I guess the 1 field goal miss from 31 counts as not scoring, but Gabe did make 4 of them. One from 21 yards out. The rest were all from 50 or longer. 51, 56, and 55, respectively. The longest was a 56-yarder, just at half. Field goal kicking for Tulane. That's number 67. Graham Dabble missed a 41-yarder, that being his only attempt on the night. Scoring highlights. So after the first costly pick by Rattler, Tulane takes advantage with Michael Pratt, their quarterback, finding Cameron Carroll for a 6-yard touchdown pass with 11:15 left, and it is 7-0 Tulane. Then the Rattlesnake slithers his own way in to tie up the ball game. This one from a yard out, 5:59 left. It is 7-7, and we got us a ball game in Norman, even though Tulane's the home team. Until this happens, Jatavius Tolles takes it from 15 yards out with 4:44 left to give the Tulane Green Wave some momentum and a big wave of Mo, now leading 14-7. But Oklahoma with 2:38 took it and shoved it right back where they needed to, right in the heart of the defense. This one, though, by number 13, Mario Williams on a 1-yard touchdown run. We're all tied up at 14 apiece, boys, as we take to the second quarter, which was where Oklahoma took and ran away with this thing, at least for a half. And it all started with Kennedy Brooks, 1-yard touchdown plunge. Welcome back, big boy. With 10 minutes left in the second half, Oklahoma goes up by a touchdown of their own, 21-14 Sooners. Then it was Burkitt time. Gabe Burkitt, his first one was from 26 yards out. 8:57 left. It is 24-14. Oklahoma Sooners still lead. That's when Burkitt kicked a 51-yarder next on the scoring drives. Highlights. This one was 7:58 left. It is 27-14 right now. Sooners leading the way. Then came the touchdown pass that Spencer had, as he threw a 4-yard touchdown pass to number 4 on the field, true freshman Mario Williams, who finds the end zone from 6 yards out. 34-14, Sooners lead. Then, as we talked about, with absolutely no time left on the clock, Gabe Burkitt, a 56-yarder, up and through the pipes. 37-14 Oklahoma, now leading at half. Then Tulane said, we're not just going to go run and hide. We've had to travel from New Orleans to Birmingham, Alabama, to the University of Alabama, to Norman, and we're not just going to show up to Norman just to lose. Third quarter, Michael Pratt proves that to be right with a 4-yard touchdown run in his own right on the ground, showing off his baseball diamond speed. The Green Wave did also go for a 2-point conversion in this drive with 3:31 left and got it. So now Sooners lead, but it's cut into by 8. It is now 37-22 Oklahoma. That is when Gabe Burkitt was called on again for a 55-yarder with 1:01 left. It is up and good through the pipes, 40-22. But in the fourth quarter, again, as we talked about, Tulane not going to run and hide from the Sooners. They didn't. Michael Pratt, 5-yard touchdown pass to Cameron Carroll in the fourth quarter, that should say. 11:28 left in this one. 2-point conversion, no good on this drive. They did score one more touchdown with 2:18 left with a 5-yard touchdown pass from Michael Pratt to Will Wallace to get it to 40-35. That was the final score in the game. Riley's right call of the game was the big time bomb that was thrown that we talked about, that we all thought was a touchdown. Didn't look, kind of looked like it. When they went back to reuse it, Mims did step out at the 1-yard line, but it was still a solid 50-yard bomb that Spencer actually took advantage of because of, like we said, of an offsides penalty. But we'll take it. Spencer Rattler finds 17. Marvin Mims way down the field for a 15-yard hook up down to the 1-yard line. That's your offense. Defensive spot of the game was with a $1:55 left. They, like we said, they scored 2:18. They did come up, try an onside kick. They recover such onside kick. And with 4th and 13 to go, Michael Pratt is tackled, or he's not even tackled, he's tripped up 12 yards up the field with a $1:55 left in the fourth quarter to give the Sooners the win. Now, like we said, we talk like that because if he's able to keep his baseball momentum one more yard, they would have gotten the first down. And then who knows what happens? Half the field, and all you got to do is just get a touchdown. But luckily that didn't happen. What does happen, though, you can get the hot takes and the cold takes of this and any game that you have on your podcast feeds. Through the Keyhole, pregame, and interviews are on this. Your host, Brady Trantham, co-hosted by Keegan Renault, and produced by one Maddie Burton. And everything now is through the Keyhole and Oklahoma Football Podcast. So there is no more Inside OU. It is all through the Keyhole all the time. But they still have a Patreon through the Keyhole for your post-game actions. If you want the post-game thoughts, reaction, cold action, hot takes, cold takes, and just the podcast, $4 on the Patreon. But if you want a film review, say you want to see what Spencer saw in the 2 interceptions that he did throw. He actually did throw a third one, but they called pass interference, and it should have been on offense, but they called it on the defense. Anyway, you want to see what Spencer saw from the All-22? You can. See what Lincoln sees. Keegan Renault takes you through it, the coaching film, the All-22, whatever you want to call it. He breaks it down for you Sunday nights, and they're usually up by Mondays. All right, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Harry James. You can catch this on all my other videos. YouTube, BoomerSooner1982. Also, Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or on the Twitter box, @HypeManHarry. All right, guys, see y'all next week, and Boomer Sooner, everybody. I'm out of here. Peace.